What's up, guys? I am Tyler Hosley, and I am a huge fan of the cinematic 1972 masterpiece, Deep Throat.
Hi, I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and this week I don't know whether or not I will upset Tyler with my views on his film, as has happened frequently in the past, but I do know that he will stand by my side when I say enough time has passed and people can just start to admit that Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is a really good film.
I agree,
Yeah,
100%. It's fucking
it's,
awesome.
I'm like,
agree.
yeah, I'm like, when is it time for that to get its due now? I just
When
like
the racists
just
choke on
stop
it.
the nonsense.
Yes, when the RE fans on the fucking websites decide to stop crying about Leon not being white. So
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm looking forward to. I think Zach Kreger looks, like he would approach it from a good place. I'm looking forward to that. I know that he enjoys the Paul W. Anderson ones more than I do, but I still enjoy it a lot. The good thing about that kind of IP is we get so many different ways. There's all the animated stuff as well. Obviously, the video games. Like it's the gift that keeps on giving. People should stop throwing clods of shit at it. Sorry,
Never.
that's
Never. I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned there's a zero sugar Barks, and you know what? It's fucking amazing. And this is Raiders of the Podcast. Yeah.
Hey, what's Barks?
Barks root beer? It's an American thing.
yeah,
Oh,
Barks
right, okay.
Barks is the one that has caffeine in it because Barks has got bite.
Wow.
you ever drink Verner's ginger ale, Dave?
Yeah, I've had Verner's.
Damn, that shit's awesome. It's
That
so
stuff's
good.
not bad. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy about that. I'm always happy to find a new zero sugar I can have on occasion. This week
I've enjoyed a Bundaberg. Is it similar tasting?
I don't know Bundaberg off the top of my head.
That's nice because I do quite like that kind of flavor selection.
Well, the only other one that
I
had
think Bundabergs are really good.
yeah, sweet. The only other one that had zero sugar in the States was A&W. And don't get me wrong, the A&W one is fine. It's just folks, they have their root beer and that is, their root beer. And Barks is mine, If it's not like a better one, because they make better ones, but out of the main three, Barks is mine. So I was very happy to find that. This week, I did a mini tour of several countries in Asia, starting with the 2020 Indian Hindi language anthology horror Ghost Stories. Someone had recommended it to me, and I didn't hate it. There's 4 stories in it, I think. Apparently the folks that made this have made 2 other anthologies for Netflix. That were also, Hindi language anthologies. I haven't seen those, so I can't say anything about it, but this was like as average as it possibly could get. There's a couple okay jump scares, but it doesn't get anything else right. Like there's no real scares, there's no real tension, but there's so many shitty fucking horror anthologies, and this is the first one I've seen that was actually in Hindi, so I'm going to give it more of a pass than I probably should. There's a political horror in it that I thought was pretty good, but the others are just they're just kind of there. I watched because Killa expressed interest, but I don't think she'll enjoy it, so I did watch it just to watch it again. I watched Encounters of the Spooky Kind, the 1980 Hong Kong martial arts comedy horror from Sammo Hung. I have said many times how much I love Sammo, and you know what? I love Sammo Hung. I enjoy Encounters of the Spooky Kind. It's not his best, but it is a fun one. And the upload they're streaming on the Criterion channel looks really, really good. I watched Baby Assassins 3 Nice Days, which was an absolute blast. I have now seen all 3 of the Baby Assassin films, but not the TV series yet. They are all directed by Yugo Sakamoto and star Kira Taka. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna fuck up your name terrible. Akari Takashi and Sayori Izawa, and they're adorable together. They work absolutely fantastically together. And I think the first one, like the director, I think the first one was the director's first film, and they have grown since then, and the actresses have grown since then. They're adorable, and it's a fun little movie. There's a TV series that is supposed to be excellent that aired following the third movie. It hasn't come out in the States officially yet, so if you know a solid fan translation out there, I can stick on. Me and Killa would be greatly appreciative. I followed that up with another film written by Yugo Sakamoto, but this one was directed by Kensuke Sonomura, Ghost Killer. Sukamura has also directed a couple other films. I think one was Bad City in 2022, which was a corrupt businessman running for mayor who starts eliminating his rivals with the help of the mafia. And Hydra, which was that was a killing game movie, and that was they were both okay, but Ghost Killer's a lot of fun. Baby assassin Akari Takashi's picks up a bullet and is suddenly possessed by the ghost of dead hitman played by Mario Kuroba. Mario is been in an absolute bunch of things and is a solid actor. That was a fun one. Again, it's interesting to watch this guy's career grow and change. And then I ended my tour through Japanese horror comedies with one of my all-time favorite horror comedies. Killa asked to watch this again. It is One Cut of the Dead. Much like myself, my niece does not like to rewatch a lot of things. So if she asks to rewatch something, it means she really, really likes it. This year, do you know how many movies we've rewatched?
How many?
3.
3.
Yes. Only 3 movies have passed Kilo needing to watch it a second time.
Was
One
Zombies
Cut
one
of
of
No,
them?
that can't
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah. Yeah, Killa does not rewatch shit.
She watched. Well, did she not rewatch the ones that we watched? Nimona.
But that wasn't this year, that was last year.
Oh, just this year. Okay,
Just this year.
all right. So yeah, one of the zombies films, like Tyler said.
Zombies 4,
One Cut of the
K-pop
Dead.
Demon Hunters, and One Cut of the Dead.
Oh,
I don't know what that says about her, but I think it's nothing but good things. It's One Cut of the Dead. If you've seen One Cut of the Dead, you know that it's excellent. If you haven't seen One Cut of the Dead, well, you know what? You should go see One Cut of the Dead. Like, I don't I don't know what else to say about it. It's a great little indie horror film from Japan. It checks all the boxes for me. The cast is great. It's a lot of fun to watch, and it holds up on multiple watches. And I brought my week to a close with In the Rear View, which is a 2023 Polish documentary from Maciek Hamala, who volunteered to drive Ukrainian refugees out of Ukraine in the beginning of the Russian invasion. And he just filmed his passengers, and it pretty excellent. It's not like some other war documentaries where they're like really in the thick of it, and there's corruption and awful and things exploding around them. It is a very different approach where it is a guy in his car driving people to a border, and nothing really happens to them, but it's very authentic and very intimate and very, very personal. Seeing all these folks having to flee their homes and cramped in the back of a van. And that's it. It's just normal people talking in absolutely horrible situations. I thought it was extraordinary. I don't think it'll land for everybody, but if you're at all interested in it, it's fantastic. And while it's never overtly political, it might be one of the few actually anti-war films ever made. It is something different and well worth looking for. And that's me.
Well, because Absent Craig is an absolute bastard, I, of course, ended up watching Kickboxer 2, The Road Back before Kickboxer 3.
I knew you were going to do that. I fucking called that one.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm glad I did, because you can just dive in. These these Kickboxer movies. I think there's maybe about 5 or 6 or maybe more in the series now. Like
There's
the older
5.
ones.
There's 5 in the original series, and then there's 3 in the reboot series.
Right. Well, these older ones are, to me, that they're kind of the films you would get in the straight to video section when you're an action movie fan in the early 90s. And part 2 is directed by Albert Pune. So I was pleased with that. Thought, yeah, that may be something that we'll enjoy, and it turns out I did enjoy it. I enjoyed Kickboxer 2, The Road Back. So directed by Pune, written by David Goyer. So that's quite the early days project for him. Continues from the events of Kickboxer in a way, because it has I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's the guy that plays Kong Po, and it has the guy who plays the Mr. Miyagi stand-in. He's there as well, who's also in 3. But the pacing was okay. There were fights, not every few minutes, but every so often, to keep me happy as it was winding towards the expected finale. So yeah, I quite enjoyed that. So Kickboxer 2 is alright, but it wasn't as good as The Bad Guys 2. And I really liked The Bad Guys 2, which was just on a par with The Bad Guys. Have you watched either of those yet, Dave? Has Killa made you watch them?
We watched the first one, but she didn't care for it, so.
Fine. It's just, I mean, it's kind of a perfect role for Sam Rockwell, is that cheesy, smooth wolf guy. So I had fun with the first one, and I had the same fun with the second one. They are, reformed. They're, the bad guys are good guys, but then there are some heists that have the kind of MO that would really have people looking at the bad guys. So they want to find out who's responsible. Meanwhile, all the evidence is piling up to show that they seem to be responsible. As soon as you recognise other voices in the cast, you're like, well, that's someone who's trying to con them, or do the heist for themselves. But everybody, as far as I'm aware, everyone seemed to return. I still like the animation style, the sort of the energy and the coolness of it. And look, I know I'm an older man nowadays, but when it's a good fart gag, it's a good fart gag. And this one had a fart gag that made me chuckle. Like, 2 small anthropomorphized creatures in a spacesuit, one that farts when nervous. What is not to enjoy about that? I laughed probably more at that fart gag than I did at anything in The Naked Gun. So, but that's just my level. I know it is, and I should stop picking on the Naked Gun. But there we go.
Hey,
I watched that last. Sorry.
you
Go on.
do know Albert Pune directed Kickboxer 4 also, right? I was going to ask that earlier, but you plowed through.
I do not. I stopped at 3 for the time being because there are only so
So
many hours in the day.
now
But,
you will be going to 4. You're welcome.
I mean, I know when I saw Albert Pune's name, and I've liked Albert Pune movies. I know he has a loyal fan base, and I would like to consider myself one of them. But I also know, he was sometimes given a very small amount of money and a very short amount of time to put stuff together. So really, I guess I was just being wildly optimistic with Kickboxer 2 and was also pleasantly surprised. But because they had a couple of the stars back, and it was, it just felt like a safe, enjoyable option because it was a straight to video sequel to something that had been a big hit. And yeah, so I'm not sure if that will still be the case by 4, but I'll let you know when I get round to it, Dave. I watched Last Straw. Have either of you two seen that? I can't recall if you've mentioned that.
I have not.
No.
So it's a thriller, a dark sort of crime thriller, basically all set in a diner with a young woman who's closing up, and things happen. And at some point, you then see events from a different POV. It's all right. The lead is really good, Jessica Belkin. I can't recall if I've seen her in anything else or many other things, but she's good in this. But it's not kind of grimy and bloody enough for the crime thriller side, and it never dives into like full on horror. Because I picked it thinking, oh, is this got to be a dark thriller or is it a horror? And it sort of feels like it can't commit to any particular sort of, yeah, can't pick a lane really. I mean, it's got a guest appearance for a couple of scenes from Jeremy Sisto, and he's, whether you like him or not, he's quite the genre name, or was in his time. So I was like, oh, it's maybe getting a bit darker, and it didn't get as dark as I expected. Also, I have to say, it pales in comparison to, was it Last Stop in Yuma County? I think that's what I want to say. Which
Yeah, I
was
think so.
Which was a crime thriller / dark comedy, all pretty much set in a diner. And there aren't. It's not like the two are side by side comparable, but it was bringing that to mind while I was watching it. So that was unfortunate for the film. So I was like, well, it's not doing. It just wasn't doing anything that new or interesting compared to other stuff that I'd seen. What else? A rewatch of The Firm. Uh, I I'm in the mood to watch these cheesy, slick, like John Grisham thrillers of yesteryear. These are the things that make me nostalgic nowadays. So I rewatched The Firm, and I really enjoyed it. But part of my enjoyment of The Firm is I went to see that when it was in cinemas, and a friend of mine said it's a great book. We'll go and see the film. We need to go and see it. And I was like, okay, having at that time no knowledge of John Grisham and really just knowing, Tom Cruise movie star. So got there, watched the film, and at the end I thought that was all right. Got a slick legal thriller with Tom Cruise in it. Gene Hackman's in it. There's a great supporting cast. My mate stood up and very loudly just exclaimed, "Well, that was shit," and walked out of the cinema. I was kind of stunned beside him, like looking at other people who had just enjoyed the film. And he'd read the book, and the book apparently ends quite differently from the film. So he was upset by that.
The thing you
Oh,
gotta remember is in the States, Grisham was huge, so everybody that saw it here had read the book and all did what your friend did.
really?
Oh yeah.
I did not. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. I think I did read the book since, and like I know the differences now. And then I do enjoy. Again, it's a certain type of book. It's not the kind of book you would mention, Dave, and then say you should all read that. But they're just quite easy page turners. But I remember finally reading how things pan out, and I was just like, well, yeah, they were never going to do that. No, not in the Tom Cruise starring blockbuster version of it. I will once again be in Tyler's good graces. Can you guess what I watched this week, Tyler? And it stars her, whose name I keep forgetting, but she's in The Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's
What's her
Tale.
name again?
Uh,
Who's the youngish actress who's in The Handmaid's Tale?
That narrows it down.
I've never watched A Handmaid's Tale, but
Youngish
Oh, she was in that Invisible Man film.
Oh, you're talking about
oh,
the lead, Elizabeth Moss, who is also a
Elizabeth
clam
Moss.
like Tom Cruise.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
Elizabeth Moss film that Tyler will really like. I know it. What did I watch, T?
Oh, I know what you watched.
Was it the what's that called? The shit, hold on, don't tell me. Her Smell?
Yes, it was.
That was my
Yes.
guess, yeah.
Well, yeah, I love that one.
I'm surprised. I know you do. I'm surprised it wasn't your first choice because I'm sure you've mentioned it before, and I was like, I might just hold off on this in case Tyler picks it.
Well,
But
I was trying to think Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, I never watched the
And
show, but
she's like 45. How young is youngish to you?
she still looks very young, and like her
If
smell
you're
was
blind,
what is he 2018, and she still looks like very young. She just does. I mean, compared to my old ass, she does anyway. Like she has a youthful look to her, I would say.
I think you should stop trying to guess people's ages. I'm gonna just
Well,
say that. You're gonna
anyway,
confuse the children.
it's going to be quite obvious that I didn't like this as much as Tyler, but like I think it does provide a decent payoff in the third act to what has come before, and there's a lot in there before that you have to put up with. But I think the performances work, and I think it just, it does show somebody who's a really shitty person, but also being in that world of music and creativity, and then at a point wondering if they can fix the rest of themselves while maintaining that creative spark. So I kind of liked where it would thread through on the way to the end. I'm not sure, like I could sit through it again though, and I'm not sure how much I could recommend it to others because, like that first half is just rough, because Elizabeth Moss plays someone who you would rather not be stuck spending time with, but she's the main character of it. And then, last but not least, I finally made time for The Northman, the Robert Eggers. Oh, I'm going to say Viking movie. That might not be 100% accurate, but I enjoyed it. It has another Skarsgård in it. I like that Skarsgård as Anya Taylor-Joy. Nicole Kidman's in a small role. It was very much kind of almost classical template stuff, and I don't know if Eggers adapted a well-known kind of bit of lore, or if he was just taking all of the very obvious and well-known influences and kind of patchworking them together for this. Dave will know.
Dave does know it is based on the legend of Almeth from Gesta Dendorum.
Right, okay. Well,
By Sacco, I know the rest of it, by Sacco Grammaticus, whose full name was Sacco. Hold on, I know it. Koganeme Longus. He's a Danish
Okay.
historian from like the 1100s.
That's what I would have guessed. But
Well, the thing is, Almuth is best known for the version written by a certain Englishman, Hamlet.
yeah. Um, yeah. There's some other stuff, and I mean, I was getting. Do you pronounce it as Oedipus?
Yeah.
There's a bit of that sort of vibe to it, and the sort of just the standard like Greek and Roman classics through there as well. But I I'm as bad with my history as I am at guessing people's ages. So this may have been before all of those, or they may have all appeared in roughly the same few decades. I don't know personally, but it certainly has the kind of the archetypal, uh, perils and potential rewards of that kind of dark and grimy hero's journey. And I really enjoyed it, mainly for the it was actually just really quite soothing hearing the pronunciations and enunciations of the dialogue, and the visuals are really pretty gorgeous throughout, as tends to be the way with Robert Eggers movies. That's me.
I went to the theater and I saw Caught Stealing, which was fucking great. I keep seeing people say it's like Guy Ritchie, and for me, it's like absolutely nothing like Guy Ritchie films at all, and more just like Darren Aronofsky's '90s garbage-filled Streets of New York version of After Hours. It's really good. It's violent, fast-paced, darkly funny. It's a lot darker than those trailers lead you to believe, though. I mean, it takes some dark turns in this movie, which it's directed by Aronofsky. You know, it's not going to be a straight-up funny movie. So, and the cast fucking rocks it. Like Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz are great, but I need a Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio prequel spinoff like now. They were fucking awesome in this movie. So good, those two characters. And but yeah, it's great stuff. And like I said, if you like just crazy New York movies like After Hours, you will dig Caught Stealing. It's really good. It's just the Darren Aronofsky version of that movie. Good stuff though. Good cast too. And because it dropped on Hulu, I watched Hell of a Summer, that new summer camp slasher directed by the Stranger Things kid, Finn something, Wolfhard, something like
Yep.
that. It's pretty good. It's nothing amazing. It's a one-time watch. It's got some fun moments. Not all the humor lands. Actually, a lot of the humor does not land in this. It focuses more on the comedy than it does the slasher elements, which is kind of disappointing. Not I love horror comedy, but the problem is when the comedy isn't really that funny, it doesn't really work as a horror comedy. Like I love Club Dread, and I think that movie works perfectly as a slasher movie and a comedy. This does the exact opposite, but it's not terrible. It's just it's worth one watch and you will forget it within a week. But not the worst, just kind of there. And the summer camp actually kind of resembles Camp Crystal Lake a lot. So if you have like nostalgia for Friday the 13th, you might dig it. But it's okay. And that's me.
You know what's a great horror comedy?
What?
One Cut of the Dead. This week, we watched the 1992 American martial arts film directed by Rick King, Kickboxer III, The Art of War. In some countries, it was released as Karate Tiger 6, Fighting Spirit. And the 2022 American drama film written directed by Sarah Elizabeth Mintz, Good Girl Jane. Kevin,
Yes.
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure. It's a bit of a toss up, really. I'll go for Good Girl Jane, written and directed by Sarah Elizabeth Mintz. As say, let's use really heavy quotation marks put based on some reality, in that people have wandered around this planet for some time and got into different incidents. There we go. Rain Spencer plays Jane, a young girl who ends up in company of people who aren't always the best, although sometimes they're quite nice and harmless. And she ends up though mainly pretty much being groomed by a young man who also has plenty of drugs. That's all I've got to say, because that I don't want to be too spoilery. Is that too spoilery? I think that's all right. I think we should just say spoilers, because yeah, it got to the end. I was joking with Tyler, and I had a rant about he always picks the same type of films. I'm starting watching these films about teens having coke and ket and just getting in with the wrong crowd, and this is my life now, at least every other week. But Good Girl Jane started off quite well. I think I was buying into the way this girl was shown as, not being really at any sort of end of extreme hatred or bullying, but just being a bit, out of the groups that might look out for one another at school or be part of cliques, and just try to get through the not exactly, bubbly with joy, but she tends to have quite a good relationship, I would say, with her mum, who's played by Andy McDowell. She's also got a sister played by Eloisa Huggins, who, it's a decent enough sibling relationship shown there. Then the middle section happens, and it is Jane getting in with this crowd, and they start to party a bit harder, and you can see things not going too well. It's a dark and windy path downwards in a standard, parent scaring, do you know where your kids are? It's 10 p.m. way. But then, for me, I think the ending pulled it back again, and you see the real truth of a character who hasn't really been, working incognito or sort of doing a great job of being extra charming at all times throughout the film, but it just sort of places him in a spotlight thanks to a legal framework as well, and various other people who can look at him and take the chance to be reminded of who he is. And he is not a nice person at all, because he is a groomer and basically uses drugs to get the company of young girls that stick with him, and then has this romanticized vision of where they can go and what they can get up to. Yeah, so this won me over, Tyler. Again, it won me over at the start. It lost me in the middle. It won me over again at the end. And you could say that the middle has some scenes that still add to the whole thing, because particularly a scene in which the drug dealer goes somewhere and Jane sees she can no longer sort of completely ignore the reality of how bad it can be for people on drugs who will want their fix ahead of anything else, whether that's just sorting their life out or looking after children, or being fit and mentally well. I thought it was quite a good scene, and again, generally didn't feel overdone when everything else could have been sort of wrung out of the scene for either emotional weight or exploitative purposes. I think it's pretty good. So Spencer was really good in the role of Jane. Patrick Gibson plays Jamie, and yeah, they're pretty good leads. Although, again, with these kinds of films, like Gibson is working to portray someone who isn't likable and isn't enjoyable to spend time with. Much like I said with Her Smell, which is why I remembered that Tyler liked it. Tyler likes putting us in the company of people we don't want to be in the company of. That's a theme. But I think they do well, and I think there are enough secondary characters that come in and out. Like the film is at its weakest when it does just focus on Jane and Jamie, and that's why that middle section doesn't work as well, I think, because you're not getting the sense of anything really interrupting their little fantasy world for too long. And you know there's still a reality playing out around them, and there should be a point where that meets them head on. So it's not as if you're sitting there willing them to crash and burn, but you know that
I was.
the film is pointless. But yeah, the film is pointless if it just continually indulges them in the way it presents their viewpoint for what they're doing. But I like the fact that gives for me, that gives it a better um, juxtaposition when it kind of crashes to very much the other point of view at the end, which I really liked and I appreciated. I like that. I'm guessing people could still watch this and come away from it not noticing the highlighted labels and the underlined horribleness of certainly the character of Jamie. But I think that Sarah Elizabeth Mintz tries to sort of then just present that at the end as to be like drug dealing groomer. This is that guy. So make no mistake about that. But I don't know. I'll be interested to hear Dave's take on it as well. And yeah, Tyler, I bet that was more pleasant than you expected.
Oh, definitely.
Well, this one won't be. So I'm going to agree in part. I think Rain Spencer is excellent with what she's given. I think Patrick Gibson does a really good job with his character of Jamie. I think the sister that was who was the sister? You just said it. I didn't write down.
Eloisa Huggins.
Yes, I think she does really well with her few scenes. Izzy, the sister, right? The problem
Yeah.
is everything else. This is I know you love these kinds of movies, and I've seen the short. The short's really good. It's 13 minutes. This is 2 hours. This is a 13 minutes inflated far past the breaking point. Because again, at the end of the day, these are non-characters. Jane is not a human being. Jane is a stand-in who just kind of stands there to be groomed. And at no point do I think they ever shy away from what Jamie is. At least I didn't feel they did. So I'm a little confused by Kevin's view of it. Like it just didn't read that way to me. To me, I felt the ending just felt like we need to punish someone because once again, we're in a drug-fueled world where no one overdoses, no one dies. There's very little violence. It's all very clean and sanitized for high school girls to still enjoy it and get some weird visceral thrill out of it. You know, let's have somebody fucking die. Let's have a fucking bloody ass overdose as one of them chokes to death on their fucking vomit for once. But this never happens in these movies. Reality isn't a thing. It's still very much idolized and sanitized and clean. And then let's talk about the fucking mom. Andie MacDowell is fucking atrocious in this movie. She is filler. But so are the fucking friend group. I like Odessa Azion, who's like the main female background friend that also has a thing with Jamie. in other stuff. I think she's a strong performer, but she is nothing in this. Same with the rest of the kids. They're there. I don't think any of us could say their names without looking it up, cheating, or having watched this movie 32 times, Tyler. Can you just do me a favor? Can you name one of the characters? Just one in that
I
friend group.
can. The kid from mid '90s. His name was Abel.
And how many times have you seen the movie, Tyler?
Like 4, but
Uh-huh.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're nothing.
What
They-
I will say, Dave, though, is like when has Andy McDowell been really good in anything?
Never.
Like,
I mean, I'm not saying Andy McDowell was ever
the
good.
default is
But the problem is in this, they act like she's had some kind of moment and she doesn't. It's filler. And that's this movie's big problem, where 99% of it is filler. There are some good performances. I do think that Spencer is excellent. She does fantastic job doing some heavy lifting. I think it's competently directed by Mintz. It's wonderfully shot. It's filmed by Jake Sanner, and Jake Sanner has done a couple other things. He directed no, not directed. He's shot a couple of music videos. He did Little Big Town. Hell yeah, I think he shot Ghosts of Sugarland, which is a short that I think it's on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix. It looks really nice. He directed, or he shot 1 or 2 Orville Peck music videos. Like, the dude's talented. He has directed a couple things also, but I think it's mostly music videos. So, and there's some really good shots, especially in the first act. Like the pool scene looks fantastic. There's a few other bits that just look amazing. So it's competently made. It's edited fine, but there's no reason for this movie to be 2 hours, and ultimately that's what undermines it. There's too much filler. There's too much repeating the same scene over and over and over and over, and I get it. I do. I am going to disagree with Kevin, actually. I think the opening and closing are the worst parts, because these aren't characters. There is no shift in perspective. I didn't see the shift in perspective that Kevin enjoyed so much, because that was always there for me. I think this movie really shines in the middle when it is focusing on that grooming relationship. There's a lot of nice little there's a lot of little touches, like how Jamie cuts her off from other people using the phone and other bits. There's a lot of really good stuff going on. The problem is it is just bloated to an extreme degree that it does get kind of lost. I didn't hate this, and I've hated a lot of Tyler's picks that are like this. I was frustrated with this because ultimately it is just a movie to scare parents that refuses to be scary to the kids. And it doesn't confront its characters. It doesn't really take a look at them or let them be people. And that's what hurts it. In the final scene, Jane is handed a red icy in a cup, but it is melted and it has never been frozen. You can tell by looking at it. And that's what this movie is to me. There is a decent base of sugary sweetness. And in this case, the sugary sweetness is drug drama, but it wasn't properly handled. It wasn't frozen and chilled and spun around that little plastic drill for an hour to be the tasty treat it should be. And instead, it's just kind of a syrupy mess. And it's a shame because, again, I think there's a lot of good stuff going on. It just doesn't come together. That was more painless than you expected too, wasn't it, T?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Every once in a while, man. Every once in a while you get me. This one didn't get me, but I appreciate what it's going for. And that, especially that middle bit, and that goes a long way for me. But it was bloated. It like a fucking corpse floating in a river.
He's just sitting there calculating how much could they have liked Kickboxer 3. What are the odds?
Oh God. I keep thinking about that, but yes. In the short, Jane was played by Rochelle Vinberg from Skate Kitchen. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
she's excellent. That short is really fucking good.
I love Rochelle Vinberg. She's great. She's great in Skate Kitchen too. She's really good. I like to see her in more stuff actually. But yeah.
I looked up Spencer and she hadn't done much, but there was an interesting looking little horror movie she did called Test Screening. So I might try and remember that
Well, she was in
and keep my eyes peeled for that.
she's in The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I have watched, and I do not recommend it. Although again, I like the lead in that. Lola Tung is fucking adorable. It still
Funnily enough,
sucks,
I've
but
not
she's
watched that
adorable.
one.
Well, yeah, but I've got a 10-year-old niece who loves that kind of shit.
Yeah, I bet she wasn't even in the room for half the episodes.
She was
Dave. You
in
were
the room
just
for
like,
every
get through
fucking
it.
episode.
You were
I was not in
addicted.
the room for half the fucking episodes. But fun fact about The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I'm going to say it because I'm thinking about it. Most of the episodes are, at least for season 2 that I noticed, are directed by Zoe Cassavetes. Yes, the child of Gina Rowland and John. And Isabella Sandoval, who I think is a solid actress turned filmmaker. Actually, that's
I
all I got to
have
say about that.
I have The Summer I Turned Pretty saved on my my watch
I
list on Amazon, and I don't have
fucking
a
knew you
10-year-old,
did.
and I don't have a 10-year-old
I
niece, so I have no excuse.
fucking knew you
But
did. I think you'd enjoy it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think you're going to enjoy it. It just didn't work for me, but that's it wasn't terrible.
I thought it looked good, but I like stuff like Pretty Little Liars and the reboot of 90210. I like all that shit, so I'll watch it eventually, probably soon actually. Um, I love this movie. I feel like it perfectly captures what I love in film, as well as the style of filmmaking on display here too. That handheld camera work and those super long takes, I love how it makes you actually feel like you're in the room or in the car with these people. And I just love that shit so much. I mean, she has a very Andrea Arnold style in this movie too, and you guys know how much I love her. But you can also tell this was a very personal film for Sarah Elizabeth Mintz too. I mean, being that I guess it is based off her life as a teen, at least somewhat. I mean, I feel for Jane. I genuinely felt empathy for her character, and I think she's incredibly well written and performed in this. Rain Spencer is fantastic. I know this movie didn't come out this year, but her performance is easily one of the best performances I've seen all year. I mean, she really sold that fucking descent into drug abuse as well. I mean, just really sold it. I really like the chemistry she had with her sister too. That was a really good like sisterly bond that I really enjoyed. Patrick Gibson is excellent. He plays a piece of shit groomer, and he plays it really well. That dude is a natural talent, though. I really like Patrick Gibson. He's great in the Dexter prequel, and it's a shame that show got canceled because he's so fucking good in it. But he's excellent. That scene that Kevin mentioned when Jane goes to one of Jamie's clients' house and sees the babies left on the bed, and it was just like filthy, and the mom was just cracked out. I mean, that was some genuinely heartbreaking shit. That scene was so well done and so powerful. Good stuff. But back to the cast. Odessa Enzion pops up. I really like her. She's always good. Olin Prennett, as I said, from mid '90s, he played fuck shit in that. He has a small little role, but I feel like this is exactly what Euphoria would look like if Euphoria was directed by a woman. So that's just how I feel. But yeah, I love this one. I feel like it's a movie tailor made for my cinematic sensibilities, and I can't recommend it enough. Especially if you're into the darker side of the coming of age movies. I am a big fan of this one, and I can't wait to see what this filmmaker does next. I feel like it make a perfect double feature with White Girl too, because both of these movies are made by filmmakers that was based off their life. So, but yeah, great stuff. Love this one. Is that me doing Kickboxer 3?
No, I'll do it. I'll do
Oh,
it.
okay.
I should do it. Usually I do it, and then I'd yell at Craig for forcing me to do this. Kickboxer 3 picks up after the events of Kickboxer 2, where the before unknown third Sloan brother, David, and his trainer, Xian? Zen? Zan? I know. You think I get it by now. but whatever.
Is that like a je sound felt?
Yeah,
Like
it is. You're
Jean?
right. It's Jun. Yeah, it's Jun.
Jean.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I don't know why. My brain. It's the dyslexia. Anyway.
Sorry, it's because I watched an extra Kickboxer movie this week, Dave. That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I've got the power.
They arrive in Rio for a championship bout because in 2, if you don't remember, David became the kickboxing champion of the world after his 2 brothers, the leads from the original Kickboxer, were murdered. At the charity event, David meets an American expat named Frank. Frank, it turns out, is a real piece of shit running a sex trafficking ring out of his basement. David also meets a young man, Marcos, a young street urchin, and his sister, Isabella. Guess what happens to Isabella? You guessed it. She gets grabbed for Frank's sex trafficking ring, and it's connected to David's championship bout. Violence happens. You know what? It's not a good movie, but I enjoyed Kickboxer 3. It is the weakest of the original 5 films. The 5th one stars Mark Dacascos, who I have gone on record as saying I love Mark Dacascos so very, very much. I don't mind Sasha Mitchell as David Sloan. They dress him in clothes they obviously stole from Jean-Luc Van Damme's Trash, which I appreciate. If they couldn't get JVCD, at least they got his former T-shirts on the man. Richard Comer plays Frank Lane. He is a fun, just scuzzy villain. And the other kickboxer is Eric Martin, and he is played by Ian Jacklin. And let's talk about Ian Jacklin. He is a piece of shit human being who now sells a scam cancer cure to people. He backs what is called oh crap, I am brain farting. The what's his name's method? I'm so sorry. I'm just totally brain farting on the doctor, the fraud doctor who thought it up. But he pushes the alkaline bullshit, and he pushes the you can cure cancer with I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, he pushes a lot of health lies. Absolute.
Not that Dr. Oz, is it?
No, not Dr. Oz, but Dr. Oz has given
He's-
him space. No, an actual real fake doctor. It's the same thing that Steve Jobs did to cure his cancer that killed him, which that is a big laugh for me, how Steve Jobs was a sucker. I mean, it's sad when anyone dies of cancer, especially a very curable cancer like Jobs did. But he did it because he was suckered by this bullshit, and it's a bullshit scam. And that's what he's out there selling, a lot of bullshit scams. So he very much has had a hand in murdering people. So if he ever hears this, I want Ian Jacklin to know he can go fuck right off the face of the earth as far as I am concerned. I mean, just an absolute piece of shit human being. An absolute piece of shit human being who is a terrible kickboxer, at least in this movie. His scenes are atrocious, and he is so desperate to play like tough and bad, and it is pathetic. But I did enjoy watching him get the shit kicked out of him, even though, it is fake, and I know it's fake, and it's fake. But yeah, it's a fun one for me. Mostly I just wanted to talk shit about that one actor because I don't have much else to say about it. I don't mind Sasha Mitchell as David Sloan. He's not a good actor. He is still playing Cody Lambert from Step by Step, but now he gets to kick people in the face and murder. And that's all I got to say about it. It's Kickboxer 3. You either enjoy it or you don't. And I enjoyed it.
If I can jump in after that, if you don't mind, Tyler.
Go for it.
Because after Dave's rant, this will be the last time on us. I'll just remind everyone, I might be a bit late uploading the episode when Dave gives it to us to upload on Sunday because I'm doing the Great North Run, which is a half marathon, and raising money for Macmillan Cancer Support. So if I remember the link, I'll put it when it shows up. That should be the last day I pester people because it is the last of my physical challenges and I can go back to full couch potato mode. I'm not kickboxing, just trying to run or jog or cover a distance where at the end I can have a non-alcoholic beer and some chips. That's it. I'll get there. We will battle against people like Jacqueline, Dave. We'll do it. Keep doing it with like proper
Like
medicine and care.
You know, like if folks wanted to do like a hey, I'm into this and that, and that's fine. You can be into shamanism and homeopathy and holistic shit, but don't tell people you cure fucking cancer. You know, especially with some like alkaline bullshit. Like, no, seriously, just jump off a fucking roof. Jump off a fucking roof. That's it. I maybe that's vicious, but Gerson, it's Gerson therapy. I knew I'd fucking remember. It's coffee enemas and alkaline bullshit, and it is bullshit. Large quantities of fruits and shit. Potassium iodine. That's what I couldn't think of. It's crap. Alkaline and iodine pseudoscientific bullshit that has killed at least a few hundred fucking people. You can get fucked. I feel
So
ways.
if you want to join me and Dave in being against that bullshit, then you can donate when I share the link, or we will assume that you're for all the bullshit. I'm just kidding.
we will.
I enjoyed Kickboxers the Art of War. So I didn't want to say too much earlier when mentioning Kickboxer 2, but I said more than I intended. But yeah, it just is the kind of film that like I already reviewed Kickboxer 2 for my blog, and I said, and I mean this, I would rather rewatch Kickboxer 2, you know, if I was just after something of an evening where I'm snacking and wanting something undemanding. I got more fun from rewatching from watching Kickboxer 2 than I would have from watching like the slick, star-studded likes of, you know, like Red Notice or what was it, Heart of Stone or whatever that other one was with Gal Gadot and stuff. Like the direct to streaming films are not a direct replacement for the stuff that we used to get that was straight to video or straight to DVD. They just aren't. Particularly when it comes to, you know, lower budget sequels to films that were the unexpected breakout hits. Because if I remember right, Kickboxer was that unexpected breakout hit. I think it was a double whammy of that and Bloodsport that gave Jean-Claude Van Damme his few years of like superstardom. So Kickboxer 3 is pretty much in line with Kickboxer 2. Exactly the same. And I can't I can't dislike it. I think Sasha Mitchell is a bit just bland and lame in the lead. But he does enough just you know, it's more believable what he does in this one than it is when he's going up against Tong Po in the second movie. Because when he's facing Tong Po, I'm like, that guy should be broken in two within 10 seconds. Whereas at least here, he just, I don't know, his opponents aren't quite as like incredible Hulk-sized and menacing, and he seems a bit more capable. He's obviously got the company of Dennis Chan's character again, but you know, for the duration this time. I liked I liked the baddie in this who wasn't like it felt quite enjoyably unique that he wasn't the sort of baddie that when everything started to fall down around his ears, he didn't immediately just try and fire 5 rocket launchers at everyone and like destroy the whole neighborhood. I mean, usually you get these action movies, and if the baddie's cornered, that's it. He's reaching for the ankle gun. He's got the other henchman about to run in. He'll do anything rather than just be like, "Yeah, you got me. Damn it, it's all ruined." Whereas with this film, it feels more like a, "Yeah, you got me. Damn it, it's all ruined." Which to some people might be really anticlimactic. But to me, I was just like, all right, well, that's a baddie who knows when he's been beat. So that worked out well. Like even when he falls out with him quite early on, he just the only thing he does is he gets them to leave the car early before the destination. He mildly inconveniences them for a bit more walking time. That's it. It's not a case of getting somebody ready to kick their heads in before the big fight or like, shooting someone in the ankle or something. And then he his cunning plan is kind of to train the hero to become stronger. But I know it's meant to make him weaker and injured, but all he's really doing is helping our guy for his training. Which was yeah, that just made me laugh all the time. It was good, and I think is it Richard Comer who pronounced him? I think he was a good presence in this one. Like Kickboxer 2 has Peter Boyle in it. Has God, I'm going mangle the name. Harry, damn it! I think he was the big bad in Mortal Kombat. Oh God. No, I'm going to look it up. Otherwise, I'll
Oh,
get it embarrassingly wrong. Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So Peter Ball, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, John Deal, who was a familiar face. Like, I had some good people in there, and the guy who played Tong Po was back. This doesn't have that. And, I'm not exactly going to be showering the young actor who played the kid in this or his sister. I'm not going to shower them with praise. But I thought Richard Comer was really good as the baddie. He was still trying to like he was he wasn't super charming, but he was doing enough to sort of stay civil while being a dick. And I think he kept that well balanced throughout. And I just like that. Like most of the time villains in these kind of movies would go way over the top because that's just what they do. It escalates and escalates, and if it escalates too quickly, they have to be at 11 for half the movie. This didn't have that, and it was just like quite a fun development in the way it happened. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And as I say, there is no direct comparison for these kinds of movies that we used to get. I don't want to sort of belabor the point or sound like I'm really uh, keeping on the rose tinted glasses and harkening back to a better time. It's just the simple pleasures of something like this. Is if they are there about in the streaming world now, they're probably buried under all of the new exclusive releases too quickly that it's harder to find something like this. The nearest ones are usually the Scott Adkins films over the past, I would say, 5 to 10 years. But yeah, this was fun, even if I did have to watch part 2 first.
Okay, first of all, it shocked the fuck out of me when turning this on and I saw Cody Lambert from Step by Step playing the lead. I mean, I was just like shocked. I was waiting for Patrick Duffy to pop up. But for a movie called Kickboxer 3, there's very little kickboxing in this. And when there were fight scenes on screen, uh, they were fucking awful. It's mostly just shootouts and like really bad ones at that. All the action in this is actually fucking terrible. Terribly shot. Um, this movie is. I don't think this movie's good at all. I mean, it's boring and dull. I love Sasha and Step by Step. I think he's a goofy, lovable character in that. I just don't think he works in this at all. But to be totally honest, I don't even really like the original Kickboxer all that much either. So maybe it's just not for me. I've never seen two, although I had no idea it was directed by Albert Pune. I love him, but I don't think I'm in a rush to watch it. What was that other kickboxing movie franchise with Eric Roberts, which also has like 5 fucking sequels?
Best of the best.
Yes,
Yeah.
I thought that was better than any of these. I've only seen the first one of that, or maybe I've seen the second one. I don't remember, but I thought those
Dude.
two were probably better than this. But I haven't seen that in years either. So
I mean, to be fair, there was a lot of real class U.S. kung fu martial arts films around that time. I mean, like Last Dragon came out like a year or two before those. Fucking love Last Dragon. Can we watch movies we've covered before just to love on Last Dragon again?
sure.
Nope.
Oh, damn.
No. No.
I mean, as long as I
Fine.
don't have to, as long as I don't have to watch Kickboxer 3 again, it's fine.
I
But
mean, maybe.
Unless there's you could always plan a deja vu special, Dave.
Oh, that's
There you
actually a
go.
really good idea. I kind of like
That's your loophole.
We'll save that for year 10. You got a ways.
I can't say it's not for me either because I do love me some like cheesy '90s direct-to-video action movies, especially the sci-fi ones like Cyborg 2. I fucking love Cyborg 2 with Angelina Jolie and Cyborg Cop. If it's got sci-fi and it's cheesy '90s just actioners, I love that shit. But these kickboxer movies, they don't really do it for me. I've never seen the reboots either. I've heard they're actually okay, but I've never actually sat down to watch those. I did like
If
the
you don't,
villain though.
if you don't like these, you won't like the reboots.
Yeah, it's kind of why I didn't watch them. But I did like the villain though. I just wish this villain was in like a better movie. But the villain was good. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this movie. I was not a fan. I recommend Step by Step though. That's a fun '90s sitcom. But I don't recommend Kickboxer 3.
I just think like this is, I guess, if people like this kind of film and they grew up at that time, they've maybe already seen them. Unlike me, because I would like them but not go out of my way to get the direct to video sequel. But if it is people that sort of miss some of that stuff, the other one, as Dave mentioned earlier, Ed DeCascos, there was the guy who was in what was that cheesy action movie with Roddy Piper? It was the villain taking over the dam. There was the guy in that. Was it Don the Dragon Wilson?
Yes.
Like he was a big star for a while. Just in terms of the I think they were pretty much all straight to video movies that were making him a bit of a household name. And I'm sure there are others that I don't know or haven't thought of, but just it's good to know that they're still findable out there. You could just watch them and have a cheese fun. Like I get it that Tyler's saying didn't really like Kickboxer, this didn't work for me. And you wouldn't stand there and say, "Oh, did you like John Wick 3? You need to watch." Watch Kickboxer 3, The Art of War. They are incomparable, but there's
Are
a
they?
cheesy, comforting fun to them. Yeah,
They're the same movie to me, except one has charm and the other one has Keanu.
No, Dave, I'm not joining you on that road.
Man, you're wrong. It's a beautiful road. The scenery is gorgeous where I am. Come on up here.
Have you guys seen
Yeah,
Have you guys seen Cyber Tracker with Don the Dragon Wilson?
Yes.
Those are amazing. Fucking love those movies.
Those are fun ones, yeah. Oh, there's so many fun, bad, straight to video movies we've yet to cover. The future is so bright. I'm gonna need shades and a tear bucket.
I mean, that's still at any point any point, I would still watch, or rewatch Bloodsport, and I think Elm was AWOL, which he might have had his Lionheart,
Yeah, Lionheart. Yep.
which was pretty much the same template as Bloodsport, but just yeah, awesomeness.
It is. I will die on the hill that Mark DeCosco should have had a better career, but it's time to pick one guy. I'm assuming Tyler's done it. We're not just talking over him.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Okay, it's time to pick one. I think I know how everybody's gonna fall. So let's hear it. Let's confirm my suspicions.
It's Good Girl Jane for me.
It's Punchy Kick 3 for me.
It's actually it's Kickboxer for me also. I'm sorry, T. It's I didn't dislike Good Girl Jane, but it didn't sell me either. And do you know what did? Do you know what did? Rio sex trafficking rings and a bastard getting kicked in the face repeatedly.
And Cody Lambert from Step by Step.
And Cody Lambert by Step by Step from Step by Step. Next week, because Kevin will be doing the runny run, he won't be here with us. So we have a guest. We have somebody we've been trying to bring on for many years now. Our good friend Aaron, Dr. AC himself, will be here, and he is bringing us the 1970s dog exploitation film, The Doberman Gang. And I am greeting Aaron the only way we should greet anyone the first time they guest on this podcast, and that's with the Mako Keiji film. I am going for The Blind Woman's Curse. But that's not all. This month, we're going to bring the month to a close with a celebration of the releases of a certain boutique disc company whose name I forgot to write down. But Kevin, what movie are you choosing for that?
I am choosing Touch, which is the Elmore Leonard film that isn't out of sight, starring the guy from Scream, and it's not Scream. And it's Paul Schrader doing not well-known Paul Schrader stuff. I think I've covered all the bases and taking people known for better things in a film that may or may not rank alongside those better things. Hold your opinion, Dave. Hold your opinion.
I never give my opinion 3 weeks early. I mean, you'll get it when you get it. So Tyler, as punishment for not beating Kickboxer, you need to give him to business.
I can't. You know what's funny? Going back to our guests, the last time we picked a guest, they picked with me, and then Anna didn't refuse to watch my pick because I was traumatizing. So
it was a traumatizing pick. I mean, to be fair, I agree with Anna for that call.
So it's probably best nobody picks with me. That's a guest. So we're on Instagram. Raiders _of_ the _ podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays, or sometimes Thursday, sometimes Friday. You never know. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment, and watch Kevin's totally awesome videos, sometimes weekly. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
Beautiful. I love how well he's got that down after all these years.
Yes.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Yeah.
Go send Ian Jacqueline a hate email. Have a good one.